Alright guys, so in today's video we're going to be breaking down our recent non-verbal clear on the car dealership. Now, before we jump into this video, I do want to disclaim a couple things. Number one, this video is not meant to be used as a resource for real life, real world CQB. Alright, this is how we do gamer CQB, which is in confines and context of a video game, specifically Ready or Not. And it being a video game, there's a couple things that we have to work with, right? We're rolling with 5 guys to clear this car dealership. I doubt you would use a team this small. We have no hand signals. We have a limited number of AI behaviors and AI enemy types that we are going up against, so we kind of have that meta game knowledge. There's a lot of things that you're gonna see here that aren't one-to-one with real life, because once again, this is a video game, okay? And we're not teaching you how to clear rooms in real life. We're teaching you how we do it in Ready or Not, specifically for our group. And there's not only one way to do it. So I just want to disclaim that before we actually get into the video, because I know a lot of you CQB incels are just frothing at the mouth ready to drop a comment. But anyways, guys, in today's video, we're going to be going through pretty much breaking down every play that we make here. And this was very heavily influenced by a lot of the guys that we know that have actually kicked down doors. Grim, for example, and Justin Red, who is also a Marine. So a lot of Ranger and Marine influence has gone into our SOPs specifically for these clears. And I do recommend you check out both Grim and Justin Red as well. And if you're looking at really in-depth CQB stuff that is in the context of a video game, check out Controlled Pairs. He's also been a huge influence. But we have taken some influence from these guys who have actual hands-on knowledge. But with that all out of the way, guys, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you are looking for like-minded players to actually team up and play Ready or Not like this, make sure you head over to our Discord at discord.gg/Karmakut to find like-minded players. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Now let's jump straight into the video. Alright guys, so we're rolling with our 5-man stack here on the car dealership. We've got myself, Grim, Havoc, Snowfall, and Mooskull, and once again, links to all those guys' information in the description down below if you want to see their POVs, or even Controls Pair stuff, because he does some excellent breakdowns on video game CQB, okay, and the thought process there. Now, because we're rolling into car dealership with non-verbals, you're going to see a lot of flashing lights and stuff like that, and the signals, and we'll go through those signal SOPs as we play through here. For example, this flash on the door basically means, all right, our stack, we're hitting this door, everyone get ready to hit this door. And that little flash just lets everyone in the stack know, okay, that's the direction we're going. One of the other SOPs that we have is to not cross thresholds, open or close. So even though this door is closed, we're going to try not to have anyone cross past this doorway. And because if we go from a top-down view, right, this is the doorway, right, and we're approaching from here. What that would mean if we don't want to cross this threshold is that the entire stack is going to end up on the right side of the door. Now, this is a little LARPy because, like, it's not really likely that we're going to get pre-fired from AI through the door, and, you know, crossing this threshold is not necessarily a problem in video games, but it's a practice that we just adopted just to keep things pretty organized and not have people flipping sides on the door and the stack gets unorganized and stuff like that. So now, just by looking at this situation where the door is oriented, what direction our team is coming from, we should all be aware of the fact that we're all going to be coming and stacking on the right side of the door. And so that's what you're about to see here. Now, another SOP that our group uses is the 2-man in the stack controls the stack. So that means that it's my job, because I'm number 2. This is the one guy right here. I'm number 2, and I'm looking around behind me to make sure that the stack is ready for when this door swings. And I'm going to let the 1-man know that this door is ready to swing by flashing the door. That's our SOP, is that when I think, or the 2-man thinks that the stack is ready, the 2-man will flash the door, and that will let 1-man know, or whoever the person is that's opening the door, that he's good to peek it and swing it. So I'm turning around here, I check the stack, I notice the stack is all good, I flash the door, 1-man knows to work the door. In Ready or Not specifically, because we have a list of known threats on the door, right? Which is, it's literally just the flashbang trap and the frag trap. And we know that both of those are limited to the bottom of the door. We don't need to do any huge breachers assessment check, all that. Like, we don't need to do that, okay? So what all we do here for our SOP for sweeping open the doors is, number 1, we peek it, and that'll tell us if it's locked or if there's a trap, right? Because if the door's locked, it won't let us peek. And as we peek it, we should be able to see the line. That's how we trap check. And then as soon as we get the yes that there is no trap, then we swing the door open. And you're going to see that our SOP for breaching differs. Sometimes we'll go dynamic. We'll go dynamic when we're time trialed mostly. But most of the time, you're going to see us do LP, center check, and then decide where to go. And what that means is, I know a lot of guys when they train BD6, because we have guys that we play with that are like 11 Bravos and stuff, when they're going in these doors and we're playing together, They have dynamic breaches like just drilled into their head so hard that the second this door opens, they're in the room. But what our team does, and just from, you know, the experience that the guys that we play with, the Rangers and the you know, the Raiders that we play with, when we're hitting contact, and if we aren't in any time crunch, we will pie the door, eliminate or engage threats, bail back if we need to, center check from the center of the door, and then decide what direction we're going. That is the SOP that our group uses when breaching these thresholds, right? It's not bang, flash, just run in the room, okay? Because in the context of a video game, and, you know, from what I hear, going dynamic is only done when you absolutely need to get in the room, like there's a hostage in there, you need to get in there before something happens, or, you know, you're under some kind of time constraint. We have time to work with. We're playing Barricaded Suspects, which is a round in Ready or Not that isn't timed. And we haven't put ourselves under any time constraints for a challenge or anything like that. We're just clearing the map non-verbally. That's the challenge for today. So you can see he's checking it with his light. Door swings open, and he decides what direction to go. Standard breaching, right? If the one man goes right, I'm gonna go left, alternating, okay? What you're gonna see here is how we control the stack non-verbally in large open areas, because you might think as soon as you enter this threshold right here and you've got this huge parking lot, people are gonna end up wall riding all the way around this entirely huge lot. The way we control that is we have an SOP that if you ever come into a large, huge open area like this, we're gonna strong wall. What is strong walling? Well, this is, let's say this is the threshold we just entered on, and this is, right, the huge car lot up here. Strong walling is essentially we're going to enter and stay on the wall that we breached from. So that means that one man is going to come out here and he's going to hold. Even if this is a huge wall over here, he's not going to wall right it over there. And even though, let's say this is a large wall that extends even off my screen, the two man is only going to come out just far enough to where he can get room for the rest of the guys, and we'll hold this wall. We're not going to wall ride too far down the wall. It keeps things controlled, gives us time to breathe, and it essentially turns whatever is in front of us into a flat range, okay? And this is how we deal with large open areas and controlling the stack when we're, you know, kind of overwhelmed by the territory in front of us. After we've held the strong wall for a while, we'll then determine what direction to go by strobing. And that goes back to our light SOPs. So you're going to see us here. We're going to come out, engage the threat. You can see I stop, right? Even though I could technically wall ride this even further down the car lot, I'm going to hold here and hold the strong wall with the rest of the stack. So we're holding. I see the flash on the right side, and the stack is starting to move around this car here. So we're going to collapse it with the stack. I'm still checking the left as we're moving. And this gets a little messy right here, right? Because this was, to be honest, our first nonverbal, or maybe it was the second nonverbal run of the night. We go back to the original SOP here, right? The right thing, technically, that we should have done was just all stay stacked right here along this wall, right? We don't want to cross this threshold, even if it's closed. We do end up getting a little bit confused here. You can see a couple of the guys are a little bit confused. We're getting warmed up, right? It's a video game. Mistakes are going to happen. You can see that flash from the two decides, hey, we're going to enter this door. And then this guy gets a little antsy and pushes up past the threshold. You know, mistakes happen. We're not perfect. Some of us have never had any real life CQB training, period. It's all gamer CQB. So, you know, some people want to shoot dudes and play with their pixels. That's what's happening right now. And this guy moves up alone, and I'm like, I'm going to give him a two-man up here just in case he gets a little bit more antsy. So I scoot by this door, even though, you know, it pushes our SOPs. And, you know, you're going to see a lot of exceptions because guys get antsy, wrench gets thrown in the mix, and it's important that we stay fluid and just try to work off of each other. So at this point, they've cleared the room behind us. It was empty. I can see that contextually because they're starting to stack on this right wall here. And so you can see now at this point, we're sticking back with that SOP, right? No one has crossed this doorway, right? No one has gone to the opposite corner here. So we're all stacked. We're waiting for two-man to get a flash up. There's the two-man flash saying you're good to work the door. One is working the door looking for the trap. One swings it open. Large open area. We're going to strong wall again. So you can see one stops. He doesn't continue wall riding as far as he can wall riding around the car. Like, we don't do any of that in the large open rooms, especially when we're doing nonverbal, because we want to stay controlled. So we get to our points of domination within the room. We look in towards the room. We stop. There's a threat that starts popping out and starts, you know, shooting at us. When we're doing challenges, and this just comes back to it being a video game, in addition to, like, a lot of the guys we play with have, like, direct action experience, we get trigger happy. Like, we won't drop people that, you know, haven't shot at us or people that are unarmed, obviously. But our SOP is if they start shooting at you, you drop them. We don't try to like taser them and get them non-compliant and stuff like that. The second bullets start coming our way or they point the gun in our direction, we drop them. That's just our SOP and how we like to play this video game. This guy starts shooting at us, we drop him. You can see the strongbow holds. We're just holding control here. Even after the threat's dead, we get the light to move, right? And so that's the signal, hey, we're gonna keep scooting. Just an FYI, this light to move or go deep or to, you know, continue pushing, that can come from anyone in the stack. It's not like one person that's in charge of that. Basically, whenever someone in the stack feels like, okay, we can keep going, that's when that flash happens. And most of the people we play with are slow and controlled, so it's not an issue that we have that light getting thrown out like too early. So right here, you're going to see, oh, open door. And this is one of the randomization things within Ready or Not. We aren't necessarily always going to have closed doors and like know what's going to happen in the map. Sometimes you have open doors. Sometimes the doors are trapped, they're locked, whatever. And so this is a small wrench into the mix, right? This is a small problem we got to work because we aren't necessarily prepared or ready for it. So we see the door, I start flashing it just to show everyone, hey, danger, 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 look over here. And so people are basically getting ready to move to this door. So this goes back, or not back, but this is one of our other SOPs. We work open doors. We prioritize the open door, right? This is an open door. This is a closed door. If these doors were both closed, we would work the closed door because that's our SOP. But our SOP is, in this particular situation, to hit this open threshold because that is more dangerous. It's an open angle and it's somewhere we could get shot from. So we're going to work that first. So the flash comes out. You can see he acknowledges by flashing back. Now, this was a weird move here to cross, like, back across the door. I think this guy should have maybe sat here because I've already maneuvered. And this goes back to, once again, it's a video game. We don't have free look in this game yet. Maybe in real life, he could have, like, shoulder checked and looked over his back and see that I had already maneuvered to take this angle. But this guy crosses the threshold twice. He goes this way once and then comes back. Ideally, we just sit here, okay? And we're making mistakes. We get trigger happy, want to shoot. All right, so this is another SOP. One man, when the one man flashes constant through the threshold and he holds it, that basically means he wants a banger through the door. Okay. So I'm prepping the bang. You can see the bang is getting prepped. Once again, I'm 2-man in the stack. Whoa. I don't know why the quality on the video is getting weird here. I'm number 2 in the stack. So it's my job to make sure that we're good to go when this thing gets pulled. So I'm looking back and checking the stack right now, and I noticed these two guys are a little bit further back. They're body checking this guy, you know, securing the weapon. This guy's on the closed door, as he should be. But I notice I need to stall for a couple seconds here. So I'm not immediately going to toss the banger in. I'm going to wait, give it a couple seconds, and then I throw the banger in once I know that my guys, or feel like my guys are ready to go. So standard CQB stuff, right? He's going left, which means I'm going right. Big open room again. What does that mean? It means we're going to strong wall. I'm not going to wall ride this thing all the way into the deep corner. Okay, so I come out to the right. I notice there's a threat there. I engage a threat. I miss all my shots because I'm terrible. And then you can see I'm not going to continue wall raiding this because we've seen that done with like a couple of other things. And if you're doing verbal clears, that's fine because you can easily call people back. But if we're challenging ourselves to do things non-verbal, we need to stay tight and controlled. I also hear my guys engaging a guy on the left. And right now we're just essentially holding. This is a large open area and we're waiting for the call to go in a certain direction. So everyone's looking right now. We're making sure everything's locked down, holding strong wall. I'm checking the doors. This door is closed. The door over the right was closed, so we don't need to flow over there at all. And now I'm checking the left here. So this is the guy that the left guys dropped. They just finished clearing the room. We can see the green chem light in that room there. And I'm starting to strobe. Let's get out of this open area and start working this door right here. You know, there's a couple different calls that could be justified in this situation. One of the calls could be we could push right into that open space and clear that because a threat's there and we want to see if there's any more threats. We could push across this because it is the closest door to us. But just moving here seemed a little bit safer. Seemed like it would get us out of this kind of hallway because there's a wall, an angle here that we can hide behind. It just seemed like a safer door to work. Given this particular situation. But once again, guys, there's multiple answers to all these problems. So this is just the answer that we decided to go with. So we just strobing up the side of the door there. I'm start collecting this stuff because the game wants us to collect this stuff. Now, small mistake here, right? we're kind of stacked up in front of the door. Generally, we don't want to do this. Ideally, I think the stack would have been against this glass. Now, yes, there is, you know, see-through glass here, which is a consideration. But it's probably, you know, worth it to take this wall rather than this wall with as soon as this door swings, they're all stacked up, no way to bail, right? But we're already committed at this point. We're not talking, and we're making, you know, it's a mistake. We're gamers, okay? We're playing on a night. We're buzzed. We're having fun. You know, some things like this happen. This guy switches walls, I think, because he realizes, like, okay, I probably shouldn't be on this corner because I can't bail back. But we're just gonna stack here. I'm watching the 6 as I should. But that is definitely one thing we could have improved, is not hitting that wall. That's just something I noticed walking back. So large open area again. We don't really have a wall to strong wall just because of the geometry of this room. And going back to that previous door too, sometimes you just won't have like the perfect correct answer and you need to stay fluid. So instead of strong walling, we're just going to slow down dramatically here. So instead of going fast and like kicking down the door, just get in the room, bang, 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 and I'm up. We take things really slow these days, and this is just something that we learned is being slow and controlled gives us more protection than getting fast in the room. And one of those things is because it's a video game, you don't have that like fear of life or suppression or like element of surprise that you do in real life by kicking down the door, banging them up, and just like rushing into the room. Because this is AI, you know, the AI isn't scared. The AI is going to react predictably. So there's a reason why we're, you know, able to take it a little bit more slow here and why we don't go as dynamic in a lot of situations. But here you can see light goes on the door from someone that's calling what we're going to work, just because there's so many angles here. Like we just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So someone lights this door saying, hey, we're going to work that right door first. So now the entire stack knows, okay, we're working that right door first. You can see 1 and 2 start scooting up to that door. 3 stacks on the wall. I'm going to hold this long. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hold this long door. We can see 1 is flashing the door. Once again, SFPs, we want a bang in that door. So I'm going to back up here. You notice me take a couple steps back because I know as soon as this door swings, there's going to be an angle that opens up. And I want to be kind of tucked in behind the angle. I don't necessarily want to be standing up right in front of this threshold. So I back up a little bit. This guy's a little exposed, but he's watching the deep angle here. And just weird geometry. We got a railing in between us. It's just a weird problem to work. We notice the door gets swung back. So one man does his trap check. He tries to swing the door. We notice the door comes back. And in this particular game, we know that there's a something behind it. You know, whether it's a civilian or a suspect, there's something that is bouncing the door back towards us. And so our go-to procedure for when that happens is kick, bang, and continue. So that's generally what you're about to see here. Is you're going to see him kick it. You're going to see the bang go in. So you can see he bailed back out of that situation after engaging that. He's not going to kick it and go dynamic and go in. That's just not what we do. We kick it, bang it, and then we'll do LP, and then we'll center check and then go in the room. Very rarely are you going to see us just go balls to the wall in the room unless we know that it's a cleared space or relatively safe. So see, bang goes in. 1 and 2 are going in the room. You notice that this guy's like, okay, I see 2 guys going in the room, and he's going to turn around and watch long. And so I know that if he thinks that 2 guys in that room is enough, I don't need to go in that room. So I'm going to stack with him in preparation to work this next door. So I give him the squeeze. I give him the light saying like, hey, I'm ready to work with you on this next door. Or maybe he doesn't. He looks around behind to double check. He sees me. I see the flash here. Which means he wants me to bang it. I prep the bang. He hears the pin. As soon as he hears the pin get pulled, that's when he knows to swing the door. That's how one man knows when to swing it. So the SOP for bangers is 1 will flash it, 2 will pull the pin, and that audible cue is what lets 1 know, okay, I'm going to throw it now. So he checks it. There's something in the room. This guy comes running out. I get the banger in because I need to get out of my hands because I've pulled the pin, and in this game, I can't put the banger away once I pull the pin. So I got to get rid of it. And the only way that I safely get rid of this thing and get my gun back up is by throwing it in the room. So I toss it in the room. We've got control on this guy from 3. There's a civvy in this room. I bypass him, toss him off to 3 and 4. And now we get into a little bit of a weird situation here. I'm 2, so I'm controlling. That's why I look back at the stack, is because I want to look and see, are we ready to work the door? And I'll give 1 the go. But 1 gets a little antsy here and works the door by himself. So this is just, you know, we're gamers, we're having fun, we want to go, and like sometimes we make mistakes for what we do, and it's gonna be fine because it's a video game. But technically here, I should have worked this door for him, and one wouldn't have swung that door by himself. But he swings it. Door bounces back. Once again, it's kick bang, right? Generally. So one of the things you're about to see here is, or notice, is one other thing that we do is the person who's on the handle side will generally work the door. That's how I know I'm 2 here, is because the handle is on my side. So if the handle was over here, then he would be 2 and he would let me know when to go. But the handle's on the opposite side, which means that I'm number 2 in this situation. We kick the door because there's someone behind it. Right as we kick the door, the guy on the other side has a gat. He gets dropped immediately, and we go in blind because we don't have a flash call, right? No one called for flash. I check the left dead space. We're good. I come back and collapse around to the right. A little weirdness happens here. This 2-man shot should have probably gone up the stairs, I feel like. I don't know. It's kind of a priority call on what he sees and feels. But we haven't had anyone check or get security up here. 3 immediately notices that and goes up to the top here. There's a whole bunch of shooting. I feel like it's behind me. I got to turn my entire screen around because there's no free look. It sounds like they've handled it. I stack with 1 up here on the door. I let them know, hey, I'm good. Door swings our way, which means there's an AI coming out. So both of us bail back away from the door, take steps back, and go wide on it, ready to drop whoever it is coming out. If they've got a gun, obviously. He's got a gun. You know, our SOP is we just drop people with guns, just how we like to play. He flashes it. I get a banger out and get in. I'm going to dig deep on this corner just because there's a wall in front of me. I don't really need to check anything else in front of me, so I dig into that corner and make sure there's no one behind the door. And then we start working the next closest door because that's our SOP. Now here I probably should be looking to the right and down the wall, but I'm not. 4 notices it and covers it, which is good. 2 doesn't dig the right corner here. It happens. It's fine. This is also goes back to just our understanding of Ready or Not, and kind of we're a little metagaming it, knowing that AI isn't necessarily programmed to sit in hard corners. They'll jump around and they'll kind of get into the center of the room, where they'll just get really, really active once you get near them. So we know, just because we're working in a video game and contextually we have certain parameters that are like very, 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 very rare. I'm assuming 2 doesn't hard check this corner because he thinks that no one will be seeing in that corner, because the AI isn't programmed to do that. The AI is not programmed to just sit in hard corners and ambush you in hard corners. So he prioritized just stacking up with 2. I got 2 get in the room. I handle this open hallway on the right. I get a flash, which is a squeeze from behind me, which means I got a 2. I start looking at this hallway here. I notice this is really weird geometry. We're in a T intersection here. I try to get out of the corner that this left door has me on, so I shift over to the right. And then because this is a hallway, one currently has this and this locked down with his POV. I want to see what's on this wall, because neither him nor myself can actually see what's in that hard corner here. So I'm going to actually roll the corner and get eyes here. And by doing that, I notice, hey, this door is open. And like I said before, with our SOP for where we're going, it's always open thresholds or doorways before closed. Okay? If they're all closed, then it's the closest one. So I'm strobing it, saying, hey, danger, danger, danger. So we press the door. He lights it. I bang it. We roll in. Our 5th man disconnects here. That's what that groan is. So I turn around because I'm so confused. This is just, you know, it's a video game. We had a player disconnect, so I turn around and I don't follow in just because I'm very confused at this point of what happened. Because I hear a death groan and I'm like, what happened? Okay, we'll keep rolling. But I let 2 get in this room by himself. It's a video game. You know, it happens. Documents here for the game. I know these guys. I already know that these guys want to work this door because it is the next closest door, right? I know they're not going to want to work the hallway door on the right just because that is a further door from them. So I know immediately coming out that this is the door we're going to work. I need to help them with this door. I'm on the handle side, which means I'm the breacher. This guy is the 1 because the handle is not on his side. And the way we breach rooms is we empty one side first. So what I mean by that is if we look at a top-down view of this doorway, right? This is me, and then I think we have like 2 guys over here and 1 guy either behind me watching this door, right? So he's got cover on this, and then this is cleared space, and this is cleared space. The door handle's on the right side, which means that I am going to work this door. I'm going to pick it. If it's locked, I'm going to peek it. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to kick it. Anything that needs to happen on this door, that's my call. If I need to, use any other equipment like C2, that's also my call. Or if I need to, break out the breaching shotgun, whatever it is, I'm on the handle side, my job. When we breach, the way that our team does it in a video game is we will empty one side first. We don't zipper. And by zipper, I mean like left, right from the door, right? We don't do that. So the zippering would look like this, right? This guy goes in, then this guy goes in, then this guy goes in, then this guy goes in. We don't do that because in video games, it's like you can't get a feel for how wide you really are and if you're brushing up on someone. So a lot of the times you'll see people just double jam up on the door and get stuck in the doorway if you try to zipper because they don't have that physical real life feel of like, okay, this guy is like close to me and I can fit. So that's why we empty one side first. So when we open this door, both of these guys on the left are going to go in like this, and then I will come in. So it's locked. He flashes the door, which means, okay, I know he's gonna want to prep this or bang this. So I peek it. He gives me the nod. This is our SOP for how we breach, right? Because I can't see the way this door is opened. I can't see this corner without stepping in front of the door. So this guy is going to visually check it and give me a nod yes, throw the door, or nod no, there is a trap. He gives me the nod, and they take it. We're secure. Now, I don't step into this hallway for a couple seconds because I want to stay out of the hallway for as long as possible until I hear that guy get zipped up and I know we're good to move. And then I rejoin this guy on this door.
Talk to high ground. Roger that. Trailers on.
This guy comes out. I pre-fire a little bit because I get a little antsy. But we drop in my turnaround. I shouldn't have turned around here. But I thought that my one man got dropped just because of how many bullets came flying from the opposite side. But I turn over. I really shouldn't. I should just trust the team to be okay and continue holding my sector. But I get a little antsy and I can't turn my head. There's no free look. So I have to turn my whole body. I can't just like shoulder check. We're scanning this room. This is the first guy that we dropped coming into this open area before. I flash him to let him know, hey, you got to tag this. And then I flash the next door we're going to work. So this guy came from the right side. He's going to stay on the right. We came from the left. We're going to stay on the left. We're not going to like reorganize the stack and get two perfectly split on either side. We don't cross open or close doors unless we already have or like absolutely need to. So I bounce up to the door. The handle's on his side, so he's got to work the door. I'm not going to step in front of it to work it. He sees it. He's going to work the lock. I'm flashing the door right now to let the guy behind me know I want to prep. I hear that prep get knocked or the pin pulled. I give him the nod. Banger goes in. And we breach. So you can see that guy on the right got antsy, right? He wanted to go in as one. But he knew, like, he controlled himself at the last second, like, okay, left side is going to empty first. And he pulled back. But, we're gamers. We want to shoot things. We're playing for fun. So it's cool to see that he showed restraint. My nods got washed out here, so I had to take him off to see this signal, which means he wants a banger. So I prep the banger for him. I get it in the left. And then I let these two guys... I know it's really dark, but there's two guys behind me that were like further out to the right of me. I let these two guys go in first. Mainly because they have SA on this situation and I don't. Because they had a wider view. They know what's in the room more than I do. So I'm going to let these two guys step in front of me before I actually move in. So left, right split. You can see a door here. I'm not going to cross the door to get on the other side. I flash him to let him know we're stacked. We're good. He swings it and he goes in cold. Big open area. I could have dug this right corner that I bypassed a little bit harder, but I'm prioritizing because we kind of know how AI behaves. Unfortunately, it's just the constraints of playing a video game. We know that it's not completely predictable, but we can kind of get a feel for what's about to happen. I'm prioritizing this open space because most likely the threat's going to come from the open space. So I don't dig deep into that right corner as hard as I, probably could have. I see the light go up on this door, so I think they want to go here. I'm holding my sector. Scanning. I see we're a little jammed up, so I pulse the door to let the stack to move. I'm the move here. Still holding it. Watching him work the door. As soon as they go in, I collapse. So this is a little bit of a weird, awkward situation. We have two doors here. I'm holding security on this door. I see my two-man pulls off, which lets me know, okay, I'm definitely not going to work this door. I'm just going to hold this door. But there's no way I go in here because my two just walked around to the other side, which means that I'm just going to follow that stack in after, they go through. But I'm going to hold security on this door. So I hear them go in. I collapse with them. We notice that this door connects to this room, so we don't have to worry about that door. Next door is the open threshold, right? We don't have anyone roll the door here. I think if anyone was to roll this door, it would probably be one. But there's two reasons why we don't go here. The first is this is an open threshold. We don't want to just walk across it. And the second is this corner is a bad corner because if bullets start flying through this door, this guy can't bail anywhere. He is now stuck. Whereas if bullets start flying through here, we can just trace this wall back and go around this way. But this is essentially almost a corner-fed room here, and there's like no room for this guy to work. So we see the constant light from the one, which means banger going in, bang goes in. One turns off his light, and we go in.
Hands up above your head. Get down now. Please get down.
We tie him up. We're just watching here. And then now we're working the door. So I back away. I could have gotten a little antsy there and worked the door by myself, but I back up. He knows he's on handle side, so he's going to work it. He peeks it. I trap check. Give him the nod. He swings it. I know it's a big open room. You can see me LP this room, right? You can watch me. I don't just like door swings, I run in. The door swings, and I pie it. I look, I center check. And then I decide, okay, what direction am I going? And so I decide to go left in this particular situation just because I just feel like I should go this way. So that's just the gut feeling here is I should sidestep left. As I sidestep left coming out, threat comes out to the right. We knock him down. A big open room, right? So the team automatically knows the strong wall, right? I'm not going to wall ride around this couch, and these guys aren't going to push around the counter. We're just going to hold this wall just because this is a large open area. So you can see us all holding, and then I finally give the light to move on the left door. Team collapses. We don't cross the threshold here, right? We're all staying on one side of the door. I give him the light as two-man to let him know that he's good. He works the door solo. And we get external. I see a gun. He drops it immediately. He gets on his knees, and then I keep my reticle on him, and he pulls out the gun again. So this man gets his lights knocked out. I'm holding here because I need to reload. So I'm just going to wait for one or two to pass me, and then I'm going to get a mag in because I don't want to mag up as the first guy in the stack. These guys get in front of me. I mag up. I know that door goes back into the room that we were just in, so we're fine here. I don't cross the threshold, right? I stay on the threshold side of the threshold that I'm on. And just a reminder, guys, that this is by no means the only or like absolute correct way to do this. This is just what works for us in a video game, okay? I check as the two-man. I light the door to let him know we're good. He works it. He doesn't want a banger. He just takes it. Another gun. So this is a really dangerous situation, right? We have a threat on the left, and we have multiple guys wanting to come up and shoot him, right? And this is just because people like shooting things or feel like they need to shoot things because they're getting shot at, right? Ideally here, you have to be extremely careful because like everyone kind of wants to get online and engage this guy, but the problem is like friendly fire here, right? So one of the things that has helped our team is as soon as we start engaging a threat, it's very normal for gamers to want to like 80 strafe the crap out of gunfights and like crouch and like walk around and move erratically because that is in PvP games how you don't get shot is like by getting everywhere and moving everywhere. But in this particular situation and how we like to play this game, as soon as we engage a threat, we keep things very slow. No one's jittering around left to right because if you do that, you're getting shot in the back of the head. So you can see multiple guys are trying to get out here and get online to engage this guy, even though it's completely unnecessary because we want to shoot our pixels. But you can see I sidestep out further to the right in order to not accidentally, cap my friendlies. So these guys get dropped. They stay online. And you can see no one's like going all over the place after we drop them. They get online, they drop them, and they hold. It's just very, very, very controlled. I see him start moving on the left, so I start moving on the right. I'm a little slow here to check this dead space on the right. And you see, oh, dead space. So I check it, and I turn around. But I definitely should have dug that corner because they could have gotten shot in the back there. We come up on this door. I light it to let them know, hey, we're taking this. So we're getting ready to get stacked here. He flashes it to let him know, okay, we're working the door. I peek it. He gives me the nod. I swing it for him. We empty the left side of the door first because that's where one is on. We strong wall again. You can see the whole team is holding. I pulse the door that we're going to. This is all cleared space already. We need to get better on our chem lights. It's not absolutely necessary for this map because you don't get like turned around too much. But working chem lights is especially important for like hotel. So you're starting to pick up on our SOPs by now. I'm sure you guys are like seeing, okay, the second man gave him the light to work the door. He works the door. He gives him the nod. The door swings. And in certain situations, they'll ask for bangers. One will ask for a banger. I'm on the handle side. I work the door. I swung over. So this is something I want to note, right? Is I swung over to the left here. So you can see me wanting to swing over to the left because if I stand on the right and I 3-stack on the right here, and this is one of those things, right? Is there's an exception when certain situations call for it, right? Because we've talked about our SOPs like, oh, you don't want to cross the threshold when you absolutely can't, right? Or when you can get away with not crossing this, you want to not cross it. But my thinking here is if this door swings or we get into a gunfight and all three of us are stacked out here, we have no room to bail. Like as soon as this door like swings, we're kind of fucked. Like just the way that this is kind of structured. So ideally we could have all stacked on the left side or it's just one guy in this corner. But like we looked at that other open threshold, like if we get into an extended gunfight through this door, this guy is trapped in this corner here. So stacking on left or right, like you can see that there's multiple answers to the situation here. But I noticed immediately like, okay, like I need to be a little bit flexible here and I need to cross this door to get over this side. Just so that we're not like all bunched up on the open side of the door. So not the cleanest thing, but we do what needs to be done. I pick it. Peek it. Nod. No nod. Okay, so you can see here, I didn't see the nod. I'm sorry. I forgot this part. So he flashes the light because he light checks it and he trap checks it and he finds the wire. My job once again to hit that wire. I hit that wire. I'm waiting for the nod. He gives me the nod. Swing the door. Right side empties. I see that light. So you can see here. Now we know like, okay, we don't want to stay on this side of the door because door swings. We're trapped. It's a bad corner to be in. So you can see we break that SOP again and shift across the door to stack on the right side. So you got to be flexible. There's no like 100% always correct thing to do. If something comes up, you need to be able to like work through it and just have common sense with some of these situations in a video game. Okay. He lights it. He wants a banger. I'm like, okay, you got a banger. Pin pulled. Swings it. Bang in. Stack rolls. I hard check that right corner. And we're big open area. We're strong wall. These guys start moving fast on that left door. The reason for why we're moving a little bit fast here is because we have this guy tied up. We know this is relatively cleared space. It's not 100% cleared, but it's relatively cleared. So this is just a weird situation to stack because we're on the stairs and it's just an awkward spot to sit. So we end up in this like weird position. Rounds start coming through. I had to watch long there on the right. I let these guys break and I'm just trusting the right guys to handle the right stuff. And I notice there's dead space here. Ideally, this guy comes with me over here to double check this. And I'm like, this, I need to hit this spot because like God knows what's over here. I see an open door. I pie it. And good thing I check over here because there's a guy with a gun over here. So I'm holding here because I don't want to go into the next threshold by myself. But like, I know I had to take this dead space like quickly because the other guys were going the other way and no one had checked it yet. So I'm waiting for this. I get the light to go, which means, hey, I'm with you. And this is previously cleared space. This is where we just entered from. Yep. So I check it. I drop a light stick. We're all bagged up. And we're good to collapse back in. So, you know, playing games here, having fun. It's just, this game is so great to me because it's like a very thinking shooter, right? Like, it's not bang bang shoot everyone up, everyone's bad. Like, the thought process behind a lot of it is so entertaining. Like, I love thinking in my shooters now. I'm so tired of like mindless shooting. So I pulse, letting everyone know, okay, we're going this way. And I think at this point, this is kind of metagame knowledge, right? Is we just know we have the second floor to clear. That's kind of just it being a video game and us knowing the map. Like, we just know we have to go up here. He's pulsing through the wall because he can see someone through the glass. So remember, pulsing is like danger, danger, look. So I'm holding long here from the bottom of the stairs. Because, like, we don't want to have the whole stack on the stairs. I feel like that's kind of dangerous. I can see the guy through the glass, too. They prep it. And they go in. So left, right, left, right. I help this guy on the right immediately because he's in a gunfight. And going back to our SOPs, right? It's... The order from which we hit doors is if they're all closed, we hit the closest one. If there's an open door, we hit the open one. If there's a door that has known contact, whether that's a dead contact or an active contact, that takes priority over everything. Okay, so in this particular situation, even though like these guys that went left around here have probably a lot of space that they have to work with and everything, we have gunshots and gunfire on the right, which means that we're all going to hit this next. That's just how we have things prioritized. I closed this door just to give us a little bit more room to work with. I'm checking it. Now, I can't really see his laser or his light. I flash him to let him know, okay, I'm with you and I'm good to go. And he's still holding it. I'm like, oh, wait, is that your light? I flash him again because I'm letting him know. Maybe he doesn't see it. And then he moves his light over the door frame so I can actually see, oh, he's calling for a banger. So I pull out the banger, get the bang in the door. And then he goes in. You know, ideally, in real life or whatever, you give him the freaking, like, hand open, hand closed, right? Like, just flashbang. But no hand signals yet, so we're just working with what we got. I'm on the handle side. I'm going to work the door. I look to make sure everyone's stacked and ready before I swing it. I'm waiting. I don't see the nod, so I double check, and he says, okay, yes, good. Kick. All right, so instantly kick, right? As soon as that door bounces back. And we get in that door pretty violently. We're over here. I swap over to the left. I flash the door, letting him know, okay, you got it too. Let's work this. It's on his side, so he's got to work the handle. And then right here, I'm checking. Like, I hold for a second because I want to know before I go in the room. I don't have to, like, chase the door into the room immediately, especially if we haven't gotten rounds through the door. I can let it breathe for a second and just, like, absorb the information I see from the room, from the door frame. But my 2 kind of gets a little bit anxious here and tries to get into the door before me. As you see, that kind of causes us to get jammed up. That's also why we don't zipper, right? It's because, like, people will just filter in left, right, and get stuck. And that's pretty much the whole map clear. You guys that have seen this whole video know that we end up hitting a trap just because it's dark and we get a little complacent or whatever happened. We tried a door check, but we couldn't find the trap. Maybe it was invisible because it was the bug or whatever. But that's pretty much the end of this run. But just a disclaimer and a reminder, guys, this is by no means the perfect way to do this, any of this. This is a video game. This is not real life. We've chopped out a lot of, like, things you would do in real life because of what we're working with within the video game, whether it be the fact that we only have 5 guys to take this entire freaking structure with, or it's the fact that we don't have hand signals, so we have to put our light on doors and stuff to signal. When, yes, I know the enemy can see our lasers and our lights. Yes, we know. Or it's like not being able to properly pie corners because you don't have the minute control over your body to, like, perfectly, pie a door. You have to, like, kind of take large steps with your character model. And why you kind of see us accidentally stepping into the threshold and holding there is because like we're trying to pie with our bodies, but it's just the game. It's a game, dude. But just keep all that in mind. I'm just teaching you guys how to do this with your gamer buddies that probably have no experience with clearing rooms even in video games, and so you can have this cool high speed fun tactical experience, because I think that's where else are you gonna get this in gaming? You got Zero Hour, you got Ground Branch too, but like you can't really get this experience anywhere else, so it's kind of cool that we can do it in a video game. But that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you had a good time watching this breakdown video. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this kind of content. If you do like this content, I highly recommend you check out Controlled Pairs. The man is a legend. He makes amazing content, and he's just very entertaining and knowledgeable on this entire subject. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you had a good Christmas and happy holidays. And yeah, we're going to have a really cool video coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.